Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, welcome. On this channel I am documenting my family's journey to financial independence and generational wealth, and we plan on achieving that through investing in the stock market, real estate, cryptocurrency, and just overall increasing our net worth. So if that sounds interesting to you, or you just want some motivation so that you can get started on your own personal wealth building journey, then subscribe to the channel, like the video, and join us. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. So I wanted to give an update on our savings to invest challenge. And remember guys, the premise to this challenge is just investing through our expenses. And the idea is lowering our current expenses so that we can invest the difference. And so I wanted to give you an update on week 1 and tell you about what I am going to be using as the expenses to save through for week 2. So for week 1, we had groceries. I have a budget amount of $200 a week for groceries. I do have a family of 5. I have 3 growing kids and they're hungry all the time. So $200. I was able to save $29.31 this week. Yay me and yay for grocery pickup. Next is Target. We budget $60. We came under by $15 and a penny. Yes, I count the penny. Next is our power bill. I had budgeted $300 for this. We came under by $7.50. And finally, dining out, we budgeted $50. We did not spend any of our dining out money this week because I just cooked and everybody ate everything that I had at home. But we are going to carry this over to next week because I'm sure we're going to be ordering pizza or something. But for week 1 of our savings to invest challenge, we saved a grand total, let me zoom in, of $51.82. And we are going to put that $51.82 over in the new brokerage account that I opened with Fidelity, and I am starting that account from 0, and we're going to see how well we can grow that account by the end of 2021. And I really hope that this motivates you guys so that you can see, even if you can't get another job or even increase your income, you can invest through your expenses. And if you just lower your expenses, you can just use the difference in that money and put it over into your investment account and watch it grow for you. So for week 2, which is this coming week, the second week in February, we have our dining out budget. I did budget $50. I carried that over from last week. Next is our water bill. I am expecting $85, so we'll see how much we can come under with that. I have been talking to the children about not wasting, not just letting the water run when you brush your teeth or washing your hands, but really conserve. Next is groceries again, and I'll probably have groceries for every week because I do grocery shop every week. $200 for that. And our health budget is $25 for next week, and I have to get some vitamins and things like that. So let's see if I can come under budget in that area. Now I did want to turn to the last page in this, and this is just our investment deposits and records. So you have you guys can see that for February 2nd, I am depositing $51.82 from week 1, and I'm going to deposit that into our Fidelity account. And speaking of Fidelity accounts, let's head right on over to the computer and invest this money. Alright guys, we are here on the computer and I am going to show you everything. So as you can see, I deposited the $51.82. Now let's get this money invested. So the great thing about this is that, let me put this up something so you guys can see. There we go. The great thing about this and any other main brokerage like Vanguard or Prudential, etc., Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade, anybody who you use, is that when you first open up an account, and this account is literally brand new, as you can see, there's no money that has been here except for what I just transferred, which was this $51.82. And I wanted to do it this way and opened up this account specifically for this challenge so that I can show you guys how you can grow an investment account from $0 to, let's say, $2,000. And how we can do that is just using money that we came under in our expenses. And this is just what we're going to put in. This is not even counting any gains that we may get from this particular account. So now that we have our savings put in this account, let's deposit this. So let's go to get started, because when your account is new, most places will give you a checklist so that it's easy for you guys to kind of start investing your money. So we have our alerts on for our security settings. That's very important, guys. Next is we made the transfer from our Capital One account, which is, you know, our bank account, into this Fidelity investment account. And that's key, guys. You have to connect your accounts. You have to connect whatever your bank account is, whatever account you're using to pay your bills out of, you connect that with your brokerage account. And once you do that, your money will be transferred into it, and now we have to invest it because the money won't do any good just sitting there. Now I will name our beneficiaries after this video off screen. Same with our investment goals and strategy, because I wanted to stick to the topic. So we have our money, let's start investing it. So we're going to click invest, and this is with Fidelity. And let me put this screen up. I just have no idea why this is not filming right. Okay, so you're going to get to trade. So this, oh, they have fractional shares available. So that's really, really great. A lot of brokerages do not allow you to buy fractional shares or pieces of shares. I can tell you that Webull does not allow you to do that currently. Now they may change, but I just wanted to give you guys an example of a company that does not allow you to buy fractional shares. Now buying fractional shares can be great because let's say you have 10 bucks, 25 bucks, 35, 50 bucks, and let's say the shares of a particular company is $100. Well, you can't buy a whole share of $100 stock with 50 bucks. So fractional shares let you buy half a share. Sometimes you can buy a quarter of a share, an eighth of a share, a 16th of a share. It really can get really specific, and it's really great for beginner investors as well. And it's really nice to see that Fidelity allows you to trade with fractional shares. But for the specific use of this video, we're going to type in the symbol. Now I do have a particular index fund I want to put this in, and it's ticker symbol FOCPX, and it'll come up here, Fidelity OTC portfolio. We're going to click and wait for the computer to load the screen. My internet is kind of slow, guys. You have to forgive me. I have 3 kids virtual schooling, a husband that's locked in his office working, so we're all streaming. We're all on the internet at the same time usually, so please forgive me. Okay, so we have this at $18.75 per share to get into this index fund. And because we have 51 bucks, we're going to click buy, and we're going to put our exact amount, $51.80, and then we're going to preview this. Oops, excuse me. Individual. I'm sorry, because I forgot about that. You want to, if you have more than one account with a particular brokerage, so with Fidelity we have our retirement accounts, we have the Roth IRA, we're going to have our backdoor Roth through them, and we have this individual account. So that's why they're telling me which account do you want to choose, lady, and I forgot to put it in. I want to use this individual account, and as you can see, this is the available cash that I have to trade with. And the great thing about Fidelity is that they will let you have instant access to this cash. Now this cash hasn't settled yet because it has to come from my bank, but Fidelity will let you trade or buy into a particular fund or stock or anything of the like right away, which is great to have instant access to this money. So we have $51.82 available to trade. We're going to preview our order. Of course, it'll be traded at the next available price. The market is closed right now. I am filming this video on Sunday, and I wanted to film this on Sunday, February 7th, to show you guys that on the next trading business day, Fidelity will put this order through when the market opens. So I don't have to even sign on, you know, to do this. It'll be in the queue, ready to go on tomorrow. So as you can see, we have our preview order. We are going to invest from our individual brokerage account into this particular index fund, and I will talk about this right after I submit this. And we're going to buy it. We have $51.80 that we're going to use, and this is cash. I'm not trading on the margin, and again, I'll talk about that in another video. But again, you can buy stocks and index funds and the like with margin money. It's like getting a loan from the brokerage. I suggest you just buy companies with cash that you physically put in here. That way you don't have to worry about if the stock goes up, if the stock goes down. It's your money that's at stake, not your money plus Fidelity's money. We don't want to do that. So we are going to place order, and the order has been received. So it'll execute this trade at the next available trading day, which is tomorrow, Monday, February 8th, and the market opens usually around 9:30, and so it'll be executed, and I will update you guys on this next week when I do my week 2 update, so you can see how the money is doing for the following week, and to deposit whatever we save for this week next week. So let's go back to the fund, because I want to actually, I can type it up here, FOCPX. That's the ticker symbol. You guys always know I'm talking about ticker symbols all the time. And so this is the Fidelity OTC portfolio, and I wanted to show you guys that you can really go and dive deep into whatever you are investing in, which is really, really cool. It allows you to see the rating of a particular fund, the types of returns that you will get, how much it costs, because sometimes you have to, it costs you money to get in a particular fund. And then the risk of the particular fund, and this is on the higher side, and we did that because, like I mentioned before, my husband and I did start in our 30s, and we want to kind of build this up, you know, quick. And we really like the stocks that are in this particular index fund. And remember, just a FYI, an index fund is just a bunch of companies, a basket of companies that are in one particular fund, and you can just have access to all those companies. So you'll have a piece of each of those companies instead of having to invest individually in those companies. And so we can see that our year-to-date performance of this particular fund is 7.02%. Considering we're in the first week or going into the second week of February, you can't even get this much in a high yield savings account. So again, this is great. In 1 year, it's going to be an average return of 43%. We'll just say 44. 3 years, 22%. 5 years, 27. And 30 years, 10 years, 19%. So I really like this. I think this has a really good risk tolerance, even on the higher side, and so we are really pleased with this. So let's go down to the details. So this has a lot of larger growth companies in it, so those are like the big boys. Think of your Facebooks, your Amazons, things like that. And this is just a summary page, guys, so you can actually click to get more specific detail, but because I don't want to make this video too long, I'm just going to stay on the summary page, because I think it just gives you a general idea of any type of fund that you invest in. You can also type in your 401k fund, because remember, when you do contribute to a 401k or an HSA, it's going into a mutual fund or index fund even, and you want to be able to see, well, what type of companies are in these funds, and what are the risks of these funds, and returns, average returns and annual returns and things like that. And so it's really cool to see. So I really love seeing this type of stuff, because it tells me when this fund was originally created, which was the year that I was born, Virgo baby. And we have our expense ratio, which is pretty good, 0.87%. It costs $0 to invest. Now, some funds will charge you to put money in those particular funds. So like some index funds, some mutual funds will charge you money. This one does not, which is why we picked this. This is one of the reasons why we picked it. And so you can see some more information, and you have this really cool chart here that shows you. So for example, purple is this particular fund, blue is the NASDAQ, and orange is the large growth. And you can see that consistently over the last few years, this particular fund has been trending up pretty well, and that's always something you want to see when you are investing in a particular fund. Let's scroll down so you can see the top 10 holdings in this particular fund. Yes, it's tech heavy, but we are big tech fans. It is the future. I think if 2020 taught us anything, is how much we rely on technology, whether it's through biotech, whether it's through finance tech, whether it's through virtual school and different things. It's just really important, even like telemedicine. And so we are big into tech. And again, this position is just a small part of our portfolio, and so that's why we feel like we can have a higher risk tolerance. And so you can see that Apple is one of the holdings, top 10 holdings: Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Tesla, Nvidia, Google again. There's sometimes there's several of one type of company, but you guys don't have to worry about that. It's fine. And then Marriott. And so if you want to see all of the particular companies, you can click it if you want to see all the companies in the different sectors that it's in. As you can see, information tech is about 41% of this, consumer discretionary is about 22%, communication, etc., and so on. And so that's just really getting into the nitty-gritty of it, but I want to kind of keep this video short and it's kind of to the point. So let's go back down. We're back on our summary page, as you can see. So we did the top 10 holdings, and this is really cool because this gives you similar funds. So let's say you want to find another fund to invest in. The great thing about Fidelity is that, and I know Vanguard probably do this as well, and TD Ameritrade and the different ones, but they'll give you similar funds, which is pretty cool in case you want to kind of spread out your portfolio and rebalance it to make sure the assets are allocated the way you want them to be. And so that's really nice. I love that you can see who the fund manager is here. This is Christopher W. Lynn, and it tells you some of the other funds that he also manages. So this guy really knows what he's doing. He would be an expert. And I love down here that it gives you the fund overview. So the objective of the fund, the strategy behind the fund, and the risk tolerance of the fund, because sometimes people want a more conservative risk. They don't want to kind of, have their positions go up and then go all the way down, especially as you get older and you're reaching closer to either your FI number or just general retirement. You want to have your assets in more conservative based funds, but because we have some time and we feel like we can tolerate the risk, we have a higher risk fund that we invested in. And so as you can see that this is pretty much it. Over here you have your quarter and average annual total returns, which is pretty nice to see, before taxes, after tax distributions. But this is really when you are about to take distributions from your fund, but we are not doing that, so we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, this is just a basic overview of the fund that we are going to invest in. I wanted you guys to see this so that you can see that you can find some more detail into what you're investing in. I always talk about it's very important to know at least the basics of what you are putting your hard-earned money into. And I love how this is just pretty simple. And I'm telling you, Vanguard has it, and if push comes to shove, you can go to Yahoo Finance, type in the ticker symbol of the company, or you can type in the whole company and it'll bring up something very similar to this, and you can go through and read it and get an idea of what the fund it is that you're investing in. So that's pretty much the video, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I really hope that it provided some motivation and inspiration so that you can get started on your journey. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the description box below. I'll make sure I get back to you. Leave me a comment. I love talking with you guys. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. I'm very open and I share real numbers here. And like the video if you haven't. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.